Welcome back to the house where we talk news, celebrities, and hot topics. So listen, I'm here for a great time, not a long time. Happy Saturday. Happy first of the month. I hope everyone's month is filled with love, joy, and prosperity. Are we drinking, eating, partying this 4th of July weekend? I have, y'all know I got my Mercer and Prince. Y'all be like, what is in that cube cup? It's this. It's Mercer and Prince. I need to be sponsored. But y'all, they have a cup on the top and a cup at the bottom. So, go on a little date night. And when you out, just like a cup for me and a cup for you. All right. Listen, let me go ahead very quickly and talk about some Housewives things. There is no Housewives of Atlanta tomorrow at 8 p.m. So instead, I am screening the Sanya Richards Ross interview. Let me go ahead and give you guys a sneak peek. Candy Burrs had this to say in response. She said, you see me, I have the whole quote. You see me off, but you don't see you off? Okay, boo-boo. And her answer did not disappoint. I was like, yes, I so badly want Sanya to come out of that shell. She's not a shy person. She just is super considerate of people's feelings, which is a great character trait for real life. But for this show, it's not working. It's not working. The girls want you fired. And I don't want Sanya to be fired. Sanya is my Pisces sister. Probably one of my favorite interviews that I've ever done. Because I felt like I was talking to my sister. I felt like I was talking to my friend. I felt like she was so respectful and gracious, and her team was so great and gracious and just so nice and so personable and just conversational and just everything. I was like, yes. And it's like we see each other because I'm a Pisces, you're a Pisces. We got to help each other out. Child. Hold on, let me go ahead and my disk space is being used up, child. So I'm like, yes, it's like I connected with her. I liked her. I was so comfortable and we were talking, and then I was like, so girl, like, what's going on with Candy? Because Candy was kind of harsh, talking about you see me off, but you don't see you off. And so when I said that, because I gave her the whole quote, I gave Sanya the whole quote. I was like, girl, this is what Candy said about you. And she told me, she was like, that was the first time I ever heard the whole quote. I was like, really? It was all over the blogs. She was like, yeah, I ain't hear all that. And I was like, okay. And so she took a deep breath. She said, and she looked to the side and she said, I was going to save this until the reunion, but let me go ahead and get some things off my chest. And I was like, yes, girl. Yes. And I told her, I was like, Sanya, I love you, but I feel like you be tiptoeing around these girls and their feelings. Especially Drew, Kenya, Candy. And I think she said one of the reasons why she does that is because she doesn't want to totally, if she really says what she really thinks, she's like me. She doesn't want to totally, ruin a friendship over one little incident. But I'm like, girl, these women will say any and everything about you. Kenya talking about I'll see if you're worthy of my friendship. I told Sanya straight up, you should have cussed that woman out. So y'all, after our interview, I feel like Sanya's hip the game. I feel like Sanya's about to play the game. Sanya's going to come to the reunion prepared. Sanya's going to be ready to confront the queen. And she gave us a really good response and some things that I wasn't even privy to. So I'm like, oh, that's why you said what you said. And that's why them people was a part of your list and them people wasn't. I was like, oh, Okay. It's giving double standards. And you guys are going to see. So shout out to Sanya Richards-Ross. Shout out to her team. She's super, super sweet. I really do like her. Like, she's, my opinion from her from last year to this year has almost like a complete 180. Okay. Let's see. What else do we need to talk about? So tune in. That will drop tomorrow. I'm going to title it Sanya Richards-Ross Speaks on It. Okay, so listen, we have RHOA Reunion. That's going to be filming sometime this month. So that's super exciting. We have the Sanya interview tomorrow. Kim Zolciak, y'all's favorite housewife. She has a Target bill. Excuse me. She owes Target $2,400. Let me read this. Hold on. Excuse me. Whoa, that was a nasty cough. Let me read this headline. It say, LoveBScott.com, when it rains, it pours. Kim Zolciak sued over unpaid Target credit card bill as RHOA stars' financial problems worsen. She owes $2,400 and her last payment was $500 on September 17th of 2022. And then we have Corey Behrman sued over alleged unpaid credit. Child. Now, Kim, let me clock your T real quick. You're a liar. That house was facing foreclosure, and you saved it at the last second, talking about it's a misunderstanding, it's not true, and you had your kids out there outside of LAX talking to TMZ, lying. Just lying through them fake fillers. Them lips. Lip Serena. You were facing foreclosure. You weren't paying the mortgage on the mortgage on the mortgage. You had to just, and I'm like, the people were saying, oh, she had to get a loan for a loan. I'm like, so you got to get a payment plan for the payment? I'm not going to do too much because I'm not the best with money. You know what I mean? But Kim Zolciak, if you get back onto Housewives, lying, not being honest about this marriage, about the kids, about Croy, about the domestic disputes, about the money, about the foreclosure, about the mortgage. If you get on here not apologizing for saying that those black women onto the couch owe this world an apology for trying to make it seem like you're a racist because racism didn't exist before 2008. If you don't get on this camera and apologize for that, if you don't get on this camera and apologize for not wanting to eat chicken with Nene and Deshaun in her backyard, if you don't get on that camera and apologize for locking your doors and making a big deal at the fact that Candy and her house is in Cascade, where she lives next to, she's in that neighborhood with all them damn mansions and stuff like that. So it's not a bad area. It's just not North Atlanta. People feel like if it ain't Midtown, if it ain't Buckhead, if it ain't North Atlanta, then it's the hood. And I get so sick of that anti-black shit. Talking about, let me lock my doors. Kim Zolciak, last time I checked, I thought Candy owned her house outright. She's not making payments. You're making payments, Bobo. And it's one thing to have a mortgage. There's nothing wrong with a mortgage. But it's just the audacity for you to throw shade at a woman who owns her home. Meanwhile, you can't pay for yours. How Demetria say, mine's has been here for 7, yours is leaving for 7? Tell me why in the middle of my sleep. Tell me why I was in the middle of my sleep. It was probably like maybe 8, 9 in the morning. I really don't get up until like 10:30. So I saw this clip. I was scrolling on Instagram. You know how sometimes you'll like wake up from your slumber and then you'll go onto Instagram and see something and then you'll shut the phone off and go back to sleep. It was one of those moments, and it was a clip of Demetria talking about Roger Bob. I went to sleep and had a dream about Roger Bob. That shit was weird. So apologize for your microaggressions. Get up on the camera, get that Bravo check, and be honest. Do not lie about what the hell is going on. Because if you get on this TV screen and you lie, I'm going to be the one to go to change.org and make a petition and get 15,000 signatures to get your ass back off. Okay? Moving right along. So that's Kim and Croy. Peter Thomas. He has unpaid rent. He's being sued for the unpaid rent. Let me go ahead and put this up. Let's see. This say ex-house husband Peter Thomas's Miami restaurant sued for eviction. He owes them $244,000. The server went on to TikTok and basically said you owe her $4,000 for 2-3 months of back pay and tips. And I am so glad that Dr. Wendy to you, sweetie, did not give you $200,000. Wendy, that money wasn't going to go into a Nigerian lounge. It was going to go to Bar None in Miami for unpaid rent. Then you had Mia's ass throwing a drink at her, trying to defend Peter Thomas. Trying to make it seem like Wendy called your husband gay. She didn't call your husband gay. She used a plethora of pronouns because y'all like a plethora of people. Smarty. Is that how the CEO got locked out of her own business? Anyways, let me calm down. Peter. Then the girl went on to Tasha K talking about Peter don't pay this, Peter don't pay that. Peter and Sheree might as well be a thing, child. What's up with y'all? Like, I understand, like, sometimes you may get behind on something, but how y'all be behind on every bill? Okay, moving right along. Peter Thomas, I'm really pissed off at you because you have people who can barely pay their rent. They can barely go to Burger King and get a damn Whopper because you're living the life. Meanwhile, you're not paying their wages. Excuse me. Don't shit on the little man. And I'm glad Dr. Wendy to you, sweetie, did not put her money into your flop ass businesses. Moving right along. Speaking of debt, student loan debt. I have student loan debt. I have about $15,000 in student loan debt, which is not that much compared to a lot of my other friends. Okay. I'm very grateful. I got the Pell. I got the Hope. I was a little smart in high school, so I was able to, get a little bit of money. And I only had to, thankfully, only take out 15. Not that much. So if Biden would have gave us the 20, I would have been scotch free, and that would have been the biggest blessing. But tell me why we not gonna receive that blessing. Now I'm still praying and I'm still hopeful that something is gonna turn around and something's gonna work for my good. That my God is gonna work for my good, because this is my season for grace, hope, and mercy. How that song go? But the Supreme Court struck down the 10 to 20K student loan debt relief. I saw some comments under some blogs talking about some Biden knew that they were going to strike this down. He just promised us to get a vote. Welcome to the world of politics. They're going to promise you stuff. Yes, it is their job when they're on a campaign is to convince you that they're going to do something for you in order for you to vote for them. Yes. You now understand the simple concept of running a campaign. Congratulations. Y'all be like, he's pandering to the black community. Kamala is pandering. They want votes. Duh, they want votes. What politician don't want votes? Dummies. It is their job on the campaign trail to convince you to vote for them. How do you think they get into office? I get so sick of that stupid shit. Yes, it is their job to convince you to vote for them. That is the whole purpose of running for office. Idiot. But Biden held up his end of the deal. The Supreme Court, the very conservative Trump Supreme Court, struck it down. How did that happen? Well, y'all thought it was a great idea to not vote. Y'all thought it was a great idea to stay at home when it was Hillary versus Trump. Y'all thought it was cute. Trump is funny. He's a comedian. Y'all still be under those blogs talking about I miss my president. I miss Trump. He's so funny. Well, now your funny ass is going to have to pay back those student loans. Me, you, and everybody else. We're going to have to pay back those fucking student loans because your lazy, silly ass decided to stay home while these folks got Trump in office, and he was so lucky to not be able to appoint not one, but 3 Supreme Court justices. And this is a really good example of elections have consequences. This is the best example of elections have consequences. But you'll still have some people saying, my vote doesn't matter. It's rigged. It's all a facade. It's all this. They do try to rig it. But they can only rig it if you let them rig it. Trump was in office. He called up the Secretary of State of Georgia talking about can you find 13,000 votes? Can you find them? Do y'all know that that's called fascism? Do y'all know that is attempting a coup? Do y'all know that it's called literally like outright rigging an election? Can you find 13,000 votes? I think that's the most egregious thing that he ever did in office, was trying to literally invert our democracy, unravel up in our democracy. But y'all think it's cute. He's so funny. Ha ha, he. Trump is so funny. Well, elections have consequences. And so because we allowed this orange fool into the White House, he was able to appoint 3 justices. And now we don't have no student loan relief. So Biden did keep his promise. He did what he needed to do. He also kept his promise when he said, while he was running, he said, if I have the opportunity, I will appoint a black justice to the Supreme Court. And he did it. Now, I'm not saying Biden is perfect, and his economy certainly is not perfect at all. But y'all got to get out there and vote. I'm sick of that narrative talking about my vote doesn't matter. I never thought I would see the day that Georgia will vote for a Democratic president and we would have 2 blue senators, one being a black man. There's only been 8, 9 black senators of all time in Georgia, a very ruby red state, elected one out of... How many black senators are there? How many black senators? As of January 20th of 2021, there have been 1,994 members of the United States Senate, which 11 have been African American. I'm assuming Warnock was the 11th. And the fact that a red state elected the 11th black man, a Democrat, shows you that your vote does matter. A traditionally red state can flip blue. Your vote matters. It does. So, to me, black people who stay home and don't vote, you might as well spit on the grave of Martin Luther King. You might as well spit on the grave of every black activist that tried to help our black asses out. The fact that you would sit at home and be okay with all of these white people making decisions for you and you not have not one say, I think it's pretty idiotic. I think that's the epitome of stupidity. I think it's a slave mentality. Oh, it doesn't matter. My vote doesn't count. I'm going to just stay at home. You disenfranchise yourself. And that's what they want. You play into exactly what the opposition wants. They want you to feel defeated. They want you to feel like it's already rigged. They want you to feel like there's no hope. That's the mindset they want you to have. Good example, it happens on the other side too. Trump made his own people feel like mail-in voting was a scam. Idiot. And they stayed home, and he's lost every election since the first one he won. Your vote matters. And I'm personally pissed. I'm pissed. Because I don't want to pay that shit off. Us poor people, we need a leg up, a handout or something. I'm pissed. Anyways. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about the situation. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to create a great day.